That's what you get when you feel rushed, guys. Alright, anyways, sorry guys for the commentary. These guys started too fast. Okay, so we have Eclipsis at the top with 2 Leviathans, 2 BCs, 1 Pods, 1 laser range, Destro for reinforced hull, and a Raven. On the Mace side, on the bottom, it's the Terrans. We have a Carrier, 2 BCs, 1 opening Pods, the other one double Pods actually, and the identical opening of the Destro, Raven, and a Leviathan at the bottom. And right now we're just doing these exchanges back and forth. Now again, if I apologize, there are 4 different accounts playing for MACE, and they have different people on them. So I may just call you guys by your actual ship names rather than your real ones. I'm just double checking everything's fine, because last time I had some issues. Alright, should be good. Alrighty. So we're getting a push here. The Destro and Destro. White Fang really well, still has his shields. Luigi getting pushed back. Beggy coming in to try to help. And we still have our dueling Levy, Corruptor Levy, and Carrier up at the top. And a coordinated launch on Beggy, though he has 4 tents, so he should be doing well. Starting to go for the bile. Eddie's helping out with the pods. Just trying to figure things out. So lots of coordinated launches because you have the 2 BCs and the Destro. Of course, Eclipsis does have the pods, which helps, but since MACE has double pods, they're not going to be worried too much about counter launches. PCXL trying to get off those EMPs. And how are we doing at the top? Little Levy, who's Acheron, is dueling with Luigi on the side lane. Tatsumaki and Eddie getting pushed back, and well, actually not Old Ent, more Enormous C and Beggy are still going at it. And Little Levy's getting pushed back. Luigi, Pig may have warped in to help out Luigi. I don't think they're going to go for a kill. They're just going to push him back, push the whole team back a bit, get some more farming space. Pig doesn't have Constant Mutation, but he has those Corruptors to help him out. Probably be going back to upgrade soon, unless he got Constant Mutation. Let's take a look at the farm situation. Luigi, our always reliable guy with the overlay. So 700 farm for MACE and about the same for Eclipsis. Pig is starting to get quite fat, though Enormous C, Old Ent is Levy, and Little Levy, the Carrier, who's actually Acheron, are doing pretty well on the farming side too. And I'm really paranoid, folks, about blank casts and so on, so just making sure, okay. And MACE is keeping an eye on the differences. So everyone's pulling, so Eclipsis is not going to risk it, they're going to be pulling back. Could be worried about a warp in on White Fang. Luigi's going back for upgrades. Pig did get Constant Mutation, so now he basically doesn't have to go back in unless he wants to get any specials. So Pig is getting a 3-on-1. Doesn't have much more energy for Corruptors, so it's gonna have to pull back for a bit. Eclipsis is full up. Eddie's come out with a bit of missiles. PCXL, still MP, more energy, 425 energy. Tatsumaki, still going to get his upgrades, don't know what he's doing yet. Luigi's coming out with a bit more armor, repair bots, and Little Levy's going interceptors. Olent going 7/10, 6 bile. Enormous C. Beggy warped in, 4/10, 3 bile. Just gonna try to help, but those double pods, they do a lot of damage earlier on. AK Fuel, i.e. Kerberos, did get scanned, so Mace can feel a little secure about warp tricks. Pushing back, a little bit of jostling back and forth. And I'm going to step back away for 2 secs, guys, and we're going to watch the Terminus camera for 2 seconds. Be right back. And everyone, I'm back. Sorry. That's what you get when the game gets started. You're not quite set. Alrighty. So Eclipse is pushing. Okay, we have Little Levy, i.e. Escheron, is trying to get a set up a warp trick. Mace is pulling back. Eclipse seems to see this. They don't have scan, but they know that that has to come. Of course, Old End, i.e. Enormous C. Yep, there we go. They see it. So Eclipse sees they're balling up. That was Tatsumaki who was pinging. Perhaps Shipig. Just dropping down a couple of extra corruptors to have it grab the farm. And there we go, very high warping. Little Levy warping in, 9 interceptors, didn't get to upgrade. AK Fuel, i.e. Kerberos with defensive field. And there's a counter warp trick point by Beggy. Now Eclipsis may be warping, it looks like they will be. This is also just to apply pressure, because Mace does have the scan so they can see it, but that'll force them to go back. Beggy now is 7/10, 1.61 speed, rapid regen. Looks like we're going to get armor 10 from Shipig, but in addition to his corruptors, he already has 450 energy. There's Eclipsis. Luigi coming in with more lasers. BC's no lockdown as of yet. And they're going to try to run down AK Fuel Kerberos. And this may just be for push, not for actual kill. And Susie, i.e. Dark Sense, pushing ahead. Definitely going to be using the pods, 425 energy. And Mace just can push back. PCXL trying to transfer. Beggy's gonna tank. He has rapid regen, so he can afford it. Beggy tanking whether or not he's a Destra or a Levy, the ultimate tanker. And Mace just really trying to either possibly make a kill. Not gonna happen. Beggy's gonna get away, but he will have to heal up for a bit, which is gonna buy Mace a little bit of breathing room. And who's the one doing the ping? Let's take a quick look at the farm count. The Luigi cam, we have 1400 farm on Eclipsis and 1400 farm for Mace. So despite these massive pushes back and forth, we're still relatively even. And what are we looking at? We have Shipig is already up at 400 farm. Beggy is not too far behind, though he doesn't have the corruptors to help. And the rest of Eddie doesn't have that much farm. And Mace is following suit. Shipig's coming back out. He now has his own rapid regen of 475 energy to keep it up. 9/10 4 bile. Beggy is 7/10 5 bile, getting a bit of armor. White Fang warped in, now he has protected field repair bots. Little Levy now at 14 ints. Little Levy, i.e. Asheron, level 14 ints. Does need to worry about feedback because they do have a Raven in the 2 PCs, but they haven't gotten lockdown yet. It's the Battle of the Ravens. 450 energy versus 350. Here comes the push. That's the one disadvantage with pods. You can't really launch the pods going forward because you end up hitting your own team. It's like a storm, but when someone's chasing you, it works. And yep, Ladanian, I am / will be showing the farm a bit more often, though it is relatively even. So let's take a really quick look again. 1630 farm on MACE side and 1576 farm on Eclipsis side. And you can take a look for your favorite players and see how they're doing. And we got a ping on the top. Possibly thinking of pushing back Shapig, because Shapig needs to be denied. And Mace knows this because Shapig's done this a previous game. Now Mace may be a little bit tired. It's around like 11 o'clock over there for everyone over in Europe, and they just played a 2-hour game to get into the semifinals. Hasn't beaten the record. The record is a Mace versus Lunar Eclipsis game in the quarterfinals of NA6. Went on for about 3 hours, 20 minutes or so, and there was no stream and no cast. Everyone just got little bits and pieces of information that were typed out, so it was pretty exciting. And just a little bit back and forth. Let's see how the levies are doing. Beggy still got it's 1.71 speed, 10 range. What do we got? Old Ent, i.e. Enormous C, 7/10 6 bile. And Old Ent seems to be doing better. Let's take a look at the farm difference. Wrong camera. There we go. Let's see, versus Beggy. Yeah, Enormous C Old Ent is definitely doing a bit better than Beggy, but Beggy's had to come in to help his teammates a couple of times. And he also has all the life regen upgrades. Mace is getting another push. Now Eclipsis is going to be thinking about going back and doing some upgrades soon. We're going to be getting out, they should be going for their 20-minute ups shortly. And Luigi's Sketch Game Pan, well then, sorry, put this 7/10, if you can get it, 7/10 6 bile. This stage of the game could be still pretty game changer if you have a long enough rundown period. And Shapig is still getting fat, 11/10 already, so sticking to one, already at his 20-minute one-shot and 4 bile. Shapig may be going back for another upgrade. Stern says, thanks for the reminder, let's check the farm. Alright, so we have 1960 farm for Mace and 1850 farm for Eclipsis. So a bit 100 ahead. With these two teams though, I mean Mace could slowly but surely drag away, but we'll have to see what happens. And we're getting the question about whether or not we should be getting locked down. White Fang's going to act as a warp point with this team. Eclipsis should know this. Do they have scan? Yes, they do have scan, and it went off shortly, so they'll probably have seen White Fang. They're going back. Don't want to get caught by the warp trick, but they may... Mace has been cutting very high for the warp tricks. A lot of warp tricks seem to end up happening here if the ship can't get out that far, but it seems like we've been getting very high, very good warp trick points. And everyone's there. White Fang's now still protect field. He was acting as the warp point. Raven now has D shield. Susie, i.e. Dark Sense, has a lockdown. In addition to pause, 475 energy. Double lockdown for Mace. And we have a Tex on Lil Levy, i.e. Asheron. And will Eclipsis see? There's 325 energy, 14 ints. Eclipsis will probably know what's going on. I'm just going to try to push him back because you don't want to give Mace that too much. They know Mace has that farm lead. So let's take a look and see how this farm's sorting out. Little Levy Cam, 2062 farm for Mace and 2042 farm for Eclipsis. So Eclipsis was able to get that advantage, and they're pushing Mace back. And let's see what the farm winners are. Shapig is the farm winner with his Corruptors, 525 energy, and he went back and he got Acid Spray to help out with the Interceptors. Luigi's caught a little bit out of position, but he should be alright. 14 ints. Bioplasma discharge by Beggy, which is going to hurt, and a save text by Levy. Is Mace going to turn this into a push? They may very well. Luigi dove in, but we have a bunch of Corruptors. We do have an EMP and some PDVs, so Eclipsis will probably be able to push this back. Should be dropping down. More PDVs going down. Eclipsis is going to turn this into a push. And if they can get this and get Enormous, get Old End, they are going to go for the kill. There goes the Levy for Mace. Now don't count Mace out on this because Mace has been down 4 and they're highly technical team and they are able to adapt. But this will make it difficult because in the late game, Eclipsis does have 2 levies. Even if they lose 1, they're still in a good position. 2 BCs do not scale very well into the later game. They do have the Destro, which may end up going for Siege. But I wouldn't recommend it with all of the Corruptors and DPS Eclipsis can throw. That they decided not to go for a messy trade. Because Mace's style is more for the long game. As you know, last game they played for 2 hours, and here they are at it again, and we could be sitting here for another hour or 2, folks. So hopefully not, so you can take a break, but I'll be with you guys the whole way. So Eclipsis is farming it up because Mace is hurting. They are going to be warping out, but warping out to the middle, just to give themselves a little bit of a start. Luigi's warped back in, 7 lasers, 5 armor, 1.6. I believe all of Eclipsis 1.6. A little bit of missiles on Eddie, in addition to some energy. 10 armor on White Fang, probably because you just need to tank for these BCs, which we have 1 armor for, 4 lasers on Susie, i.e. Dark Sense, double lockdown D-shield, D-shield on Fuel, i.e. Kerberos. Let's check out the farm lead really quick. Little Levy farm cam, 5-6, 1760 farm for Mace, 2400 farm for Eclipsis, but do not count them out just yet. Do not count Mace out just yet because they're said this could be still a very interesting and very long match. We could still see mines. They have a Destro. As long as they're mines, the possibility of a 3-hour match exists. Eclipsis pushing him back, but D-shield on thing is, are we going to be able to see another D-shield? Does not necessary. Eclipsis is just pushing him back, applying the pressure. Shapig is 11 tenths for Bile, and he has 550 energy. Tatsumaki just focusing on a little bit of mix of missiles, but also getting ready to go caster. And how's Beggy doing? Beggy, well, he has his Bioplasma and Rapid Regen, which we knew, but he's now going for 8 Bile with his 1-shot. And Eclipse is saying, we've got a little bit of money, 500, 400 minerals. Levies, they have Consummation, they don't have to worry. But yeah, it's enough to go upgrade. Eclipsis has the advantage at the moment. It's in their favor to wait it out a bit, even though Mace are the experts at the late game. Eclipsis does have good players that can handle the late game, so with the ship up, they is in their favor. And now 425 energy lockdown on Icky Fuel, i.e. Kerberos, and more energy on the BC. So Eclipsis is definitely going to have to pump up the energy deny, otherwise they will not be able to deny another text, which is up. And who is that? Let's double check the farm. 1942 farm for Mace and 2600 farm for Eclipsis. So Mace is keeping pace. Eclipsis is not pulling ahead by a lot. That ping was by Terminus. Yeah, Eclipsis is definitely going to have to worry about lanes. Level 16 ints on Little Levy, i.e. Asheron. Eclipsis is going to upgrade Warped In. Who just warped in? Eddie with 425 energy. Now he can keep up with the other BCs. 375 energy on Tatsumaki. And the Eddie cam, what are we looking like for farm? Generally pretty even. Shipig is still doing a very good job. Their carriers, the MACE's carrier is still doing a good job getting up to 500 farm. And I'm sorry guys if I can't make conjectures about endgame builds and plans. I think I'd rather just call it like it is. So guys, we've got, so for anyone who doesn't know StarBattle and is still watching this, ships fly back and forth in the map. The weather is star fields and blue skies, very blue skies. And it's a pretty awesome game. I love it. And, oh, Susie, i.e. Dark Sense stopped, but Shipig was going to make a little dive there, but with D-Shield and White Fang coming in to save the day, not going to happen. White Fang's like, I got your back, bro. And that's not actually how White Fang talks, I believe. And with PDD, Eclipsis is just kiting it up. MACE does not have PDD yet, though they may need to consider getting so. 14 tenths on Shipig, a 600 energy. He can keep acid splashing and laying down corruptors all day. 8 bile, 11 tenths, 5 armor on Beggy, a little more tanky. No, actually, Shipig is more tanky, but Beggy's style is pretty more tanky. And Eclipsis is farming it up like crazy. Let's double check the farm cam. 2100 farm for MACE and 3000 farm for Eclipsis, pulling ahead like crazy, though they are going to have to pull back shortly because MACE is upgraded and is going to be pushing out again. And this is the time for the 30-minute ups. So for all the newbies watching, everyone should have 6 lasers. 6 lasers? 6 lasers? 6 lasers! Yay, everyone gets a prize for 6 or more lasers. That's the one thing. If you forget your 2-shot, it can really hurt. Especially with the interceptors. You gotta keep up with it. Though Little Egg does not have his 6 lasers. Do not win the prize. Do not win the prize, Asheron. Susie, i.e. Dark Sense, didn't come out with it. And we have a nuke on the BC with 475 energy, so could be able to get off a lockdown and then following up a nuke. Double nuke from MACE. And that is how they're going to go for their DPS. Tex nuke, Tex double nuke. Now Eclipsis could probably guess this based on their upgrades. The energy hasn't changed for the 2 of them, and neither has their damage output. More PDDs. That's Terminus, so it's part of this game for the wearing down the kiting. It's going to matter where those Ravens place their PDDs. Are they going to place the forested PDDs correctly? You want coverage. You also want to have this spread far enough apart to cover everything. And Beggy stop. These BCs are coming in thinking, can we get this? Vegas 1.71, so we wouldn't have to worry. The rest of Eclipsis is almost 1.71. Luigi's going up and farming it up on the side. 586 farm, maybe going for siege. But the dangers of attacks, unless the team can energy deny, and the double nuke, the thread double nuke, that may not be such a wise idea. And looks like, oh, Susie's trying to go for a lockdown. Shift clicking is awesome, and a trade by that thing. Good job, Eddie. I'm from Eclipsis, so I'm allowed to be slightly biased in cheering on. Luigi's going to act as a warp point, but Little Egg does have the techs up, so this is a little dangerous. We have the possibility of a double nuke in addition to the techs, as well as a Raven with almost full energy, PDDs, and D-Shield. There we go, there's the nuke. And I bet you there's going to be a Tex, and there's the Tex. This may not have been a good move for Eclipsis. But the whole team's warped in. We don't know what upgrades they have. Do they have nuke themselves? Wi-Fi does not have siege. There we go. Eclipsis needs to decide what they need to do. They got EMP'd. They just need to stay alive. The levies are going to try to kill the BC. There we go. Can the levies make it out? But then the rest of Eclipsis is going to come out and try to help out. There goes the second nuke. Beggy needs to head back. Shipig needs to head back. White Bang. Eclipsis may come out of this. Another ship up, despite it looking not so great. Eddie has tons of shields, and he's full up. He can pod that. Double pods. And wow. Eclipsis was able to turn that around. So what turned to look like potentially a risky warp trick and Tex turned it into another ship down for MACE. 1,800 farm to 3,500 farm for Eclipsis. What does MACE have? What does MACE have left? They have a Destro, Carrier, BC, and Raven. So they have a healthy amount of energy deny. They have a tank. They have a potential save mechanism with the Tex as well as D-Shield. So they're not completely screwed, but possibly. So Eclipsis just has to play this safe. They just need to play. Now they need to really play for the long game. MACE is going to have to push for a win earlier because they know already with Shapig already up at 1,000 farm, Beggy not too far behind. Eclipsis could eventually go for a full contain. As well, Eclipsis can dominate the energy deny. Well, actually, yeah, double lockdown EMP. Little Levy's come out with 18 ints. AK Fuel, IE, Dark Sense, has nuke, bit more lasers, same energy. Terminus, PDD still, no blackout. 9 lasers, 10 armor on White Fang. Shapig looking good at 10 armor, 15 tenths, has now got Frenzy, Corruption, is basically getting the whole gambit of Levy abilities. It's going to be like bingo, or trading cards. Gotta get them all. Gotta catch them all. Beggy also has Frenzy, but not as strong a Frenzy. 6 armor, 11 tenths, 6 bile, but it doesn't matter because Shapig is getting fat. He can tank. Luigi can also tank. Luigi has Bombard, so a bit of a muke. Try to get a kill. Could be useful. Little Levy going up on the top. Is MACE going to warp to them? No. Just applying a little pressure on the side. Eclipsis looks like they may be going for the tower, or just doing a little bit of pressure, trying to push them away. There go all the Corruptors. So many Corruptors. I could be like the casting Archon. So many Banelings. So many Corruptors. It's the Corruptors. I love the way some people say Corruptors. So much more interesting. Corruptors. And Luigi's probably saying, very nice. So just don't, just to stay focused, because my name is Italian. So we got to stay focused here. So Eclipsis just has to get this win. Peggy's even working a little bit on the tower with the bile. Just have to play safe. Again, the forest of PDDs is not going to get chopped down anytime soon. Guys, save the trees. Don't cut down. Don't kill the PDDs. No. But what happened to saving the environment? Alright. Eclipsis could push and do the tower. They're scanning, worried about a warp trick. Not coming. Entire team's up at base. Now, is White Knight probably going to get siege? MACE does tend to turtle when they get towards, when they get in these positions, as most teams do. And the acid spray and the pods completely nullifying Little Levy, i.e. Acheron. And there is the siege on White Fang. Just 9 laser, not going to be much, but every little bit helps in pushing away. Unfortunately, this could be a turtling game unless Eclipsis just wants to end this. But this could actually be to their advantage. The longer the game gets drawn out, the more tired these MACE guys are going to get. Guys, if you live in a time zone, it's going to be coming midnight. Try to play a short game, just so FYI. Shapig's wondering if the BC should be getting nuke. Entirely possible with the Destro. Raven could put D-Shield. Then they could dive, try to nuke, and just try to snipe that Destro before it farms too much. Let's check out a little the farm situation really quick. So 2,000, just shy of 2,100 farm for MACE, and 4,400 farm for Eclipsis. Beggy is close to 1,000 farm. Shapig's already at 1,300. And Terminus is AFK? Possibly? Perhaps. I'm not sure what Terminus is doing. Okay, there you go. Lil Levy just... They're trying to apply pressure, trying to keep away. They're probably hoping for when Eclipsis may decide to go back as a group, or they may leave their levies behind to try to keep up the contain. If Eclipsis pulls back, MACE will have a chance to push forward and possibly gain back a little bit of map control. Levy's probably hoping to get a good Tex. If Little Levy, i.e. Acheron, can get a Tex with 4 of the ships in there, perhaps with the nuke, they could just... There goes the second tower, just going down. I didn't know bioplasma works on towers. Very useful. second tower going down. There goes the nuke, and it, yeah. There's the tower. Check out the farm. Everyone got an extra 100 minerals. 2,100 farm for MACE, and 4,800, up by another 300 for Eclipsis. So, folks, this doesn't look good for MACE. Eclipsis playing very well, not taking too many chances. But MACE, of course, can bide their time. They take advantage of a derp. But with two really strong levies, we've got 11 armor, 11 tens, 12 bile on Beggy, and 15 armor, 21 tens, and 4 bile on Shapig. In addition to 600 energy for Corruptors, which I don't know what level they are. We will check it out. I will check out for you folks and get back to you. So Eclipsis is pulling back. They're going to pull back to the full retreat. Everyone is really, they rob the bank. They rob 2 banks at the same time, like Ocean's 11. At the same time, like the original movie where they had the power outage and they went crazy. And so I thought the 2 levies just going to keep up the contain. With Corruptors, totally possible. Just farming, just got to take it safe because the levy could text, but again, with that other levy there, and Eclipsis with no warp cooldowns could just warp in right away. No issue whatsoever. So now we have 10 lasers, still 475 energy, a little bit of armor on AK Fuel, i.e. Kerberos, little levy, i.e. Acheron, still now gone to 18 ints. Blackout and D-Shield, and pretty much all the abilities on the Raven. White Banks now, it's still at not being able to get that much farm, possibly because his teammates are getting it, but it's still only at 9 lasers. Eclipsis warping in. Luigi now has Siege 16 with 16 lasers. This does not look good. Range 18. And Luigi's sieging up. Eclipsis is going in for the kill, going for the jugular. Tex goes down, but that is not going to make that much of a difference. And as soon as Luigi comes out, he's got 16 things. Now his team can't be on top. Contaminate on nukes. So many nukes. Okay, who's still alive? Yeah, one more down for MACE. White Bang's down. Their Sieger is down. Beggy's just rapid regenning. Luigi's not even sieged up anymore, but it doesn't matter. This is a free-for-all and carnage. And there it goes. And there we go. That's the game. There goes the G, and there goes the GG, folks. So this was NA7 semifinals. MACE versus Shadow Eclipsis Game 1. We will be going to Game 2, and you can catch me again after the break. Thanks for watching, folks.